friends. So some of you guys know that I've built kind of a reference library for kids. We do have some encyclopedia and an encyclopedia set in the basement that's more of an adult one. I am probably going to try to find a newer one, or one that's maybe in better shape. One of the things you can do if you're looking for reference books, like a whole set of encyclopedias, rather than buying them for $1,000, you can, at least in our local library, you can go to your local library, and actually other bookshops, I've heard other places do this. It's not just our local library. I know there's other places that do it too. But you can go leave your name and information saying like you want an encyclopedia set, and you can either be specific or not, but I just have my name there for like to come check them out. And if you will go pick them up the same day, you can get them for free. And so like you have to be ready to go, obviously, but it's a great setup because like they don't want to try to sell each one for $1. They don't want to sell it as a set 'cause it's really hard. It's like, and so it's like if you will come pick up this set of you'll come pick this up today, you can have it. So just something if you guys are interested in, that's a great tip. With that, you kind of have less say over what it is. But we have like is it Funk and Wagnalls? Yeah, Funk and Wagnalls. We have this same company's full encyclopedia set from like 1975, so it's pretty old. But these ones are actually really neat. We only have one of the children's ones. They have some really great maps. They are older, so I'm debating about trying to find more of these ones or newer ones. But I do really like this. This is just the first like portion of it. It's the first one. I have really liked that. The Ultimate Visual Dictionary from DK. There are newer ones. So this is one that like if I find it used for, usually I do $1 at our bookstore or the library's bookstore, and then like 75 cents at or $1.50 at our the closest thrift shop to me. So I'll keep an eye out for a newer version of this. But all these I got for either like under $5 each for most of the older ones. This one I did buy new, the Picture Dictionary from Usborne. I do like that. So I'm loving DK and I'm loving Usborne. This is another Usborne one, the encyclopedia, my first encyclopedia. I love that. There's a couple ones that are like my first. If you get each one individually, you can like get 20 books. But this one is, each section is a book. So that's something with Usborne that like can be really nice or kind of obnoxious. It's like they have these different sections are all individually books or they're in other books as well. I don't remember all the exact research, but the My First Encyclopedia is great. The Picture Dictionary is great. We also have the Thesaurus. This one's DK. So I went through and I picked out my favorite. Like I watched reviews on them all, and I went through and like watched flip throughs and different things. And so I picked the ones that I thought were the best. But this Thesaurus is lovely. We don't use it too much yet. Every now and then my son like will pick out a page and just like read about a word, and then see. I think we did Friends once. The Disneys, these are so fun. I don't know if I'll actually take seriously collecting the sets. But we have these two, and I don't, this one's older. This one's from like 95, I believe, and this one, or maybe like 2005, and this one is from older than that. But so they're two different sets. This one my son really loves reading. This one we haven't read through the same way, and it's older. But yeah, so if I find other replacements, I might have just found one. I did find a rock book that could replace the Disney one, possibly. This series I've really liked. Would they be considered encyclopedias? I don't know. And I can't remember. Southwest Advantage, I believe. This series I really like. It is really well done, in my opinion. And there are 8 of them, I believe. Maybe 6. I'm only seeing 6, and I think we do have the full set of those. I do like this one. I think I've replaced a couple older ones, and this one I'll probably replace, but it does have some great diagrams. And there's one in here that's really funny. Yeah, this one, where it shows like how sensitive each area is. So this one it's still good. This one is DK again. The visual one is a little bit for older kids too, and it is a little older. Like I said, like that's one that I would like to upgrade. So this is not really a reference book, but Paul's Journeys is a fantastic book of his journeys, and it does have like letters you can pull out. It maps them all for kids, and then you can pull out different letters, excerpts, and then this one I would recommend as well. One of my favorite books, and I don't have most of our nature ones down here. This one is amazing. I absolutely love it. I love it. And every now and then we'll go to a page, like we'll see where does an animal live, and we'll go to that climate zone. And it does a really, or a biome, does a really great job of showing where things are. That's not actually what I'm going to show you. Like what's in each area and little facts about it. And I think this one's just a great one. I've loved this one for me, and it, like for nature class, if you do the Exploring Nature with Little Kids, that's a great book to go with that. This one is a little bit advanced for where we're at. We have 2 other nature books that we're going through, just like 1 page at a time, 1 animal at a time. So we have a jungle one, and then we have like an exotic one. So we're going through the jungle one now, baby jungle animals, just reading about one every couple days. And so this one I think I'll replace with that after I have like 2 or 3 actually already there. So that one for now is just a reference book. This one is national parks. It's beautiful. I wish it had more parks that we have gone to and will go to. So we grew up in like South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana. So like my son's been to national parks in this area, quite a few of them, but there's nothing in there. And there's great parks there. And so I am a little disappointed in like where it's at, but most people probably will not have the same problem of being in South Dakota, Wyoming. This one is a world history book. I think world history books I feel like are kind of tricky for kids. And we've read most of it. It does start with evolution. There are a couple pop-up ones that are awesome too, and that's yeah. It has a stance on a couple things that some of you guys might not agree with. I am personally okay with teaching evolution and just different theories, because I will probably be teaching Old Earth as far as art history goes. Actually, art history book. This is my favorite children's art history book. It's so good. It goes through, it's a pretty brief history, but it does have, I love it. I love it. And I'm rereading it as an adult, right? Who almost has an art history minor. So like, I think it's great. And so many like art history classes in college. So I say that, but so many are surveys. So you just memorize 500 years. Like they're just survey classes. So you're just memorizing 500 pieces of art, their state, their country, their origin, like it's just silly. It's just silly. This one is super old, but there is a lot in here that I still like. And so until I find an atlas that is we have several Kidditz atlases, and they're all upstairs with like our classroom stuff that we use regularly. So this one is not quite, and a lot of these books are not quite, like my son's 3, and he's a little young for most of these, but my goal is to have us to where we can be like, I can have an idea of what's in what books. So I can be like, oh, you have a question. Let's go look it up after dinner. And I'm really trying to do that. But also like trying to figure out which questions will be answered in these books, and also figuring out which questions should be answered via Google. So I can kind of like working on going to the books first. But some of them are so specific that they're not in a book, right? Or not in a book that we have. This one, I don't love this series. And it's weird because like my 3-year-old, he kind of is like bored by it, even though it seems like they should be more age appropriate for him. But this is the only one from this series that I'm keeping. There are sticker books, which are cool. My husband hates stickers, so I'm kind of like, yeah. This is the only one from this series that I kept. A lot of people love it though. Maybe I just don't use it right, or maybe it's just, it seems like it should be his age appropriate, but he doesn't use it. So anyway, so I don't know. I'm not in love with those. I am also, for myself, learning Greek and Greek mythology. And so these two, this series I think is going to be really good they have Greek, Black history, oh my goodness, Nordic, American history, I think. And I've only done this one, but it has a map of the family tree. Like, I really am excited to read this one. I'm reading an overview that's for older people now. I'm reading like an overview of a bunch of Greek everything. And this one, I think, is the same one that's recommended by Memoria Press for like 5th grade. And I probably will read this one. Actually, I'll probably read this one next, and then I'll read this one after that. But the one I'm going through now is a little bit, it's not drudgery to read it, but it's just kind of like, this Greek deity was horrible to humans, and here's like, and it's just like the same things over and over and over, because there are so many repetitions and like themes in the stories. So like, this one was horrible to people. Zeus liked this woman and Hera didn't, so Hera attacked the woman that Zeus liked, because like, it's just like, okay, I get it. But it's been really good because it is an overview of like kind of everything. But yeah, this one will be nice because it'll be more fun, more like, I'm loving kids books, you guys. And this one I think will be a little bit more of the story, a little bit deeper into some stories. But yeah, so I'm learning Greek mythology because I think I will probably do the classical approach of education, not neoclassical, but actual classical. I also am learning Latin for myself, but I speak Portuguese and Spanish. Well, my Spanish is horrible. But I speak Portuguese. I did speak Spanish before I learned Portuguese, and then I've studied French and Italian quite a bit, but cannot do much in either of them. But I can read French, Italian, and Latin. I'm looking through the Vulgate I'm working through Revelation in the Vulgate right now. And so I'm working on learning Latin and Greek, not Latin and Greek, Latin and Greek culture. I want to do Roman culture as well, to hopefully help with a classical education for that. So those are the Greeks are not really reference books, but and they're also like ones I'm not having my son read yet. I wanted to keep doing fairy tales. I like the idea of doing fairy tales to lead into more complex things. But fairy tales and like doing like we're doing anyways that's a whole I have a whole series on for like each different subject area. It's been so fun. Actually, so I do have 2 treasuries of there's a holiday one. This one is actually really good if you do find it. I don't even know who it's by, but Family Read Aloud Treasury. If you guys find treasuries, they're lovely. We love the Berenstain Bears treasury. We have the yellow one. I don't know what it's called. Like Values maybe. We love that one, and this one's been pretty good too for more of the fairy tales. But I think with treasuries, I kind of just find them, and then like we'll read through one, and then we'll pass it along. We have a Pete the Cat treasury as well. So good. To get the bigger one, get the bigger one. Don't get more than one Pete the Cat one because they have a lot of the same stories. Just get one and get the big one, if that makes sense. Or just get one, because a lot of the Pete the Cat treasuries have the same stories, which drives me nuts. Also, Winnie the Pooh treasury has been great. So anyways, there you go. There's some of my favorite reference books for kids. And like I said, not an expert. These are just the ones that I have found. I'm looking at the other bookshelf that I have kept onto, and I kind of feel like this is a solid set of them. And I actually am holding this up with cardboard. I made a cardboard shelf back there because the pegs don't go high enough for them. But yeah, so that's the reference library section. I think I showed you all of them that are on that shelf. So there you go. Thank you so much. Bye.